morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Day two of the Tiki Bar construction. I decided to take advantage of a little bit of time that I have this morning before we have some guests that are coming over somewhere between 10:30 and noon. So I want to take advantage of this time to work a little bit more on the Tiki Bar. As you can see, this wasn't done. I don't know if you can see through the frame of the camera. This section wasn't done when I closed yesterday's video, but I couldn't walk away. I actually worked until about midnight down here. It's so nice down here, so quiet and so nice and cool. The basement is just a great place, and it becomes an addictive place to do work when you have a project going on and you're kind of focused on it, which I was focused yesterday, and I'll be kind of focused today. Well, enough for the intro. Let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now let's talk a little bit about what I did accomplish last night. Last night I added this extra section right here, and it's almost identical to the front section, the side section, all the dimensions, everything's cut the same. So it was really easy for me to cut the wood down here, and I just have to do some assembly, which is what I'm doing right now. This section right here, which is going to be this corner, this end on this part of the Tiki Bar. So I just need to get this assembled. Then the next step is I have to decide what the next step is, because I didn't draw this down. And I'm not even following my own rules and recommendations. When you build something, it's really good if you have a plan, you have a drawing. I didn't do a drawing on here. I went online and I looked at some other recommendations. I looked at really what the heights should be. That's some of the most important. And framing is just some basic, really, framing 101 is so easy. And this is kind of what we're doing. We're doing some framing. What could be a gotcha, is when you're putting your tabletop, whether it be granite or wood or whatever you're going to use, or plywood, you need to make sure that when they have an intersection, usually intersections are the most tricky part, which is going to be this corner over here. But I kind of have some ideas in my mind. Again, this whole thing is in my mind, and some things I saw from some YouTube videos and some Googling. Well, anyway, I talked enough. I want to go ahead and get started and working on this project today, because we have, like I said earlier, we have some guests coming over. Let me go ahead and do this, and you can follow me on some time-lapse videography. Now, something I want to show you, although this piece of granite is not going to be used inside this project. This is a spare piece from the house build, and I'm going to be using, I don't even know if I'm going to use the same grain, the same style of granite. But I wanted it for a placeholder because it's standard dimensions. It's 240 centimeters long, and it's 60 centimeters deep. So I wanted to get a feeling for what it's going to feel like when I get it on here. Also, when you're cutting your legs, basically for your the front of your Tiki Bar, for this style, I went with the recommendations, which are the studs inside here are 38 inches. Then you add 1.5 inches for the other two, so 38, 39, 40, 41. So that's about 41 inches to the bottom of this wood, of your whatever your finish is going to be on the top, whether it's wood or whether it's granite, whatever you decide to use. And I'll show you, I'll kind of give you an idea of what the feel is. So just imagine sitting here and you have a drink here, or if you have maybe a plate and you're eating and you're watching, say if there's a TV back there, or you're talking with the bartender. So it's kind of a comfortable feeling, just like at a sports bar. So I think we're good on our heights. So let's go ahead and, like I said, let's go ahead and start working on finishing up the corner over there. Okay, well here it is, day 3. I really didn't get a lot done on day 2 on the Tiki Hut, or the Tiki Bar project. But I didn't even think we were going to get anything done today. But this morning when we got up, It was pouring like crazy.
Yeah.
We saw in the weather last night. We said, oh, Sunday's going to be a total washout. But a lot of times it's just isolated type of showers that we get here, and that's what happened this morning. And it seems like right now, although right now is good, there's a bunch of clouds over in that direction, which they're coming this way. We could get some more rain in just a little bit. But I think we're going to take advantage to get some more supplies. I'm about as far as I can go with the Tiki bar build without having more supplies. I need some sheathings, some paneling for sheathing. I need some hardware. I need some screws for that sheathing to attach to the studs. And I also need, we need some granite. We're going to go look for some granite. So we're going to take advantage of the Sunday morning shopping trip and go to a couple of the big box stores that we normally buy our building supplies from. So let's go ahead and head into Lipa and look for some building supplies, and hopefully we're back early enough where I can actually put some of those building supplies into process. It might not be done today because there's a lot of stuff that we got to get. It might be a Monday morning project. All right, ready to head out?
Okay.
All right, let's head out. Okay, our first stop for today is City Hardware. It's open. It's on Sunday and it's open. They usually have a lot of good stuff, especially some of the stuff that they have is granite. So we'll be looking particularly at some of the granite they have, and I also understand that they have plywood. So we'll take a look at the plywood and some of the screws and hardware as well. Well, what we need is some 12 mm. It's close to the equivalent of 3/8 inch plywood. They have one sheet. I need 5 sheets, and this is the only one that they have. They got a bunch of MDF. They got a bunch of plywood, and the plywood that they have is mostly thicker. It's like 14 mm, and on upward, the equivalent to about 3/4 inch. So I don't think we're going to be able to get any of the plywood here. So we'll look at some of the other things that they have. Now remember the other thing that we're looking for. We're looking for some granite. Unfortunately, again, luck isn't on our side today. Most of the granite that they have here is 60 centimeters by 180, and remember we are looking for 60 by 240. Now they do have some 240 centimeter granite on the back side over here, but it's not the color that we want. We're actually looking for something a little bit darker, and it might present a problem looking around the local Lipa area. Even when we go to Wilcon might have a limited supply over their warehouse, but we'll look anyway. So what they do have in the 240 is this right here. And on the other side they have the lighter, it's like the gray and this stuff here. Now this stuff isn't too bad. We've used this, remember we used this around the house where we did the grill area, so it's a contender. So anyway, what we ended up getting, the only thing we ended up getting was a bunch of bags of some wood screws. These are the wood screws that we'll use to attach the sheathing, the plywood sheathing, to the framework. So we got that, because sometimes you go to different stores and one store will have the screws and the other ones won't. So you better grab them while you can in whatever store that you find them in, if you happen to be in that store. Let's go down to Wilcon and see if Wilcon has any granite and if they have plywood. All right, here at Wilcon, let's see what they have inside. So what we found over here at Wilcon, they have actually something that we're interested in. And I will show you, it's actually these two down here. But to give you a better view of what it looks like, it's actually this same material right here. Now this is 220 centimeters. Remember, I needed 240. The 240 is on the other side, but I need 4 pieces. So what I might do is just get the 2, work with the 2 for the top of the bar, and then possibly come back. I have to look and see what with my measurements. I might be able to use, if I do it correctly, I might be able to use smaller pieces for the section that's on the bartender side. I'm gonna have to remeasure. Let's go ahead and go and look at some wood. I gotta show you something. a new addition to what they're selling here at Wukon. I need a bicycle. And I've never seen this before. I was just talking with a gentleman about the speed. You know, in US normally you get like a 3-speed or a 7-speed or a 10-speed bicycle. So I looked at this and I saw what looked to be a 7-speed. But then I looked again and there's another thing that's a 3-speed. So this is literally a 21-speed. If you look at the sprocket on here, I don't know if you could see, but there's three there, and then you have the 7 on the back. So this is more towards like mountain biking, because you have so many speeds that you can do on here. But look at the price. This is $57.99. I think that's the equivalent of about $118 or something like that, US price. Crazy. So what I think I'm going to get, I think I'm going to go just a little bit thinner. They have 10 mm plywood right here, but the price is right. The price is $862. So I'm going to get 5 4x8 sheets to do. I think that will cover all of the sheathing for the entire project. So just ask the sales representative here to go ahead and pack up 5 of these for me. Now for the service outlets like these that we're going to put along the backside for you to be able to plug in things like the blender, popcorn machine, whatever. I'm going to get some of this electrical cabling. Normally when you buy electrical cabling in the US, it's going to be 3-wire, and it's going to be like most of the time it's a 12 gauge that you would normally use for inside for all your electrical. But they have here, they have 12 gauge and they also have 14 gauge. And I noticed that these are rated, and it says right here, since it's not going to be that big of a load, and it's just a few things that we're going to be adding to it, it's rated for 15 to 12 AWG, which is the thickness of the wire that we're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and get this up here. And I'm going to get about 20 meters. About 20 meters is what I'll need to do all the electrical rough in. Now if you've been following the build, you know that I really like the Panasonic, and this is like a universal type of a plug, because you can put the round plugs inside here. It's also grounded if you have grounding, earth ground inside your house. And it's polarized. It has the polarized connections on there as well. You can pretty much put anything into, you can plug anything into these. So these are what we use throughout the entire Villa Feliz build, and that's what we're going to use inside our bar. Oh, I gotta do it all over again. I guess everything all over again. It wasn't recording. Anyway, what we have here, we have some accent lighting that we're going to put underneath the bar. In the front of the bar, we're going to put one that's green, so it has a nice green look down on the bamboo. And then on the back of the bar, we need something for doing bartending maintenance. So I wanted cool white. They don't have it in stock. We're going to see what this looks like, the daylight. Now over here, what they have is a power supply, and it's a DC power supply that will provide power to both the light strings over here. What they're telling me is this power supply will provide enough voltage for 2 different strings, so it's not necessary to buy 2 voltage supplies.
Hindi pwedeng dalawang sabay natin pailawin kasi hindi tayo pwedeng.
You like that color? Huh?
Okay, let's try the blue. Ano yan?
Blue.
That's a blue.
And that's the blue color. Okay.
It looks like daylight. Yeah, this one
Is what?
is for you, right?
You think?
Yeah, this makes you not calm, and it's a bar. Right?
All right, back here at Villa Feliz, successful day at the big box store. I got some electrical wire, and the other accessories that go along with the electrical wiring for doing things inside the bar itself. So we have electricity and we have some lighting. The LED strip lighting for the mood, for ambience, and some wood to actually get back into the construction mode, as well as, I think, yeah, the screws. We got the screws inside there. Nice thing about if you have the screws, if you ever need to take anything apart to get inside without destroying the wood, you can use the screws for the paneling. Remember, it's all going to be covered up anyway. You're not even going to see it. This is actually a nice veneer that is on this plywood right here. You could use this and you could stain it and you could do some type of sealing and you could make some nice cabinetry with this if you were building some cabinets. Well, anyway, we're not building cabinets. We're actually building a bar that's going to have bamboo or some type of a natural tiki kind of look to it on the outside. Well, I was going to take the rest of the day off because it's Sunday. It's supposed to be a relaxing day. And I want you to look at this boy over here. He cracks me up. Well, like I said, I was going to take the rest of the afternoon off because it's a Sunday, but almost every day of the week is the same for me when you're retired. It doesn't matter. There's no really work days and there's really no days off. Now, we also have a granite delivery coming sometime during the week. I decided to allow Wilcon to do delivery because they're responsible for it. If I would have brought it in the back of the Hilux, there's a potential that it could have gotten broken on the way back. And I decided to go ahead and play it safe and let them deliver it. Anyway, it's going to take a couple of days for me to get all of the siding on because I have other projects going on alongside this side project here as well. Well, now you can see I have all the panels cut. They're not in place yet. They still have to be secured. What I bought at City Hardware today, I bought these 32mm 1.25" wood screws, and these are perfect for paneling. They have a little angled, a little beveled head right here, and what that'll do, that'll allow it to go inside the wood a little bit where it doesn't stick out. And it really doesn't matter, because remember, this is all going to have covering. Or maybe not. This possibly on the inside, we don't have to do that. On the opposite side, we will. So right now I'm going to secure this. So maybe you're starting to get a little bit of an understanding of what's going to happen here. There will be a slab of granite that goes all the way around here. We can cut it out if we want a little bit more room to walk in and have access to the top layer of granite up there on the top. Plus there's going to be a support here in the center. I haven't built the top portion. I went ahead and secured the bottom, and I did little notch cutouts inside the walls so that, hey guys, I'm in the middle of doing something here. Okay, well, ignore the interruption, but what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I did the little notches down there, and then what I'll do is I'll put a center support, and I'll put possibly another piece that goes through the top section up here so that the granite at this layer up here, when I'm talking about securing, maybe securing to those two studs, will have additional strength if you push down on the granite at this level right here. That will be done later on, but I had to get that in first. Now we are going to hold off putting all the paneling on the outside. This is going to be really easy. The paneling on the outside is just going to go all the way. It's just going to cover. It's going to take this side and that side is almost one 4x8 sheet of plywood for both sections. That'll be just a small piece that's cut off and left over. But we're not doing this yet because, and the main reason is because we're going to run all of our electrical wires from the outside, get everything hooked up like we want. We'll do all the punch through holes inside there for the little boxes, and I'll show you later on. I think I showed you when I went over to Wilcon the boxes that we're going to use for electrical, for the switches and for the outlets. And we also want to be able to go ahead and do all the wiring, everything that we need, the connection to the switch box for the ribbon cable that's going to go up underneath the outside. Remember, I believe it's the green that we have going this way, and we have I think that's selected a red one to go on the inside to go against the bar area here inside where the bartender will be. Now before I begin securing all of the, get out of the way, these dogs. Before I begin securing the paneling to the framing with these screws right here, I just want to make one comment. One good thing about doing the paneling, what the paneling does for you, if the paneling is square, when you put it inside the framing, it's going to square up your framing for you. When I mean square it up, so that it is not crooked in one direction or the other. Normally you use something like a square, a carpenter square like this, and you would go inside the corner and you would stick it up inside there to make sure that the framing itself isn't tilted or crooked. But you can pretty much rest assured when you put these in, it's going to be very framed in and square. So that's one of the big advantages of your paneling inside there. It also, when this is done, you'll see right now it's shaky. The framing itself is shaky this way and shaky kind of this way. Once all this goes into place, it's going to firm everything up, and it's going to be extremely tight and secure. Okay, day three, and this is where we are on this project. Remember, day two, really, we didn't do much. It was only a couple, I think the end piece, not really much got done because we had some visitors. So we are moving along with this project to get this tiki bar in place, slowly but surely. Today was a success. Today we were able to source out 2 pieces of granite that will be delivered sometime this week from Wilcon. We got the sheathing, the plywood sheathing, started doing the inside. Wow. Pretty much done with the first layer of the inside. There'll be another layer that goes on the top, up here, but we won't install that until after we put the granite lower layer in, and we put the granite upper layer in as well, so that we make sure that we have the exact amount of spacing. Because remember, when you buy granite, the thickness is not always the same, so we need to compensate for that. We need to know how to keep from having too big or too little of a gap. Then we'll work on the outside, but before we work on the outside, we will do the electrician. And I think I might work on that tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday. It's going to be a busy week next week. And I hope you'll join me for some of the activities that's going on. We are going to test, we're going to test the Samsung warranty program. You ever wonder why when you go inside some of those department stores and they say, remember, retain your receipt, and they make you fill out all that information on there for your warranty? Well, we're going to see if Samsung's warranty program is all it should be living up to be. I made a service call. Our television went out on us on the second floor. We probably only have maybe 10 hours worth of time on it because we hardly ever use that TV up there. We use the one downstairs on the first floor. So it's like brand new. And the problem we have with that is half of the screen just kind of went out. It was just like a shadow on one side. The left side was working fine. Then it kind of did some weird stuff where the left side went dark and the right side became normal. Then I heard something go pop, and then we lost everything. I called up Samsung, and well, you'll see the rest of the story later on this week. I said their appointment to come over is Tuesday. It will be Tuesday. Maybe by Tuesday, close of business, we will do a report on where we are on that, see how the warranty system works. Oh, anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is a continuing project right here, so as we progress in this, we will continue to do videos here as well. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand of your screen. You'll be subscribed, and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you're interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.